Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we are going to be taking a look at a very interesting item because it is a really low-level item, and it also has some very interesting stats which can actually make it even usable at higher levels if you are specifically needing this particular stat. And that is the Nokozan Relic. The Nokozan Relic, I believe that's how it's pronounced, Nokozan. Nokozan Relic is only level 10. It's absolutely ridiculously low. And 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, let's even say, if you are a level 10 character, there's a very good chance that this amulet is probably going to be the best amulet you can put on. There are very few characters which I would say you have better choices. One of them, for instance, would be the Angelic Amulet and Angelic Ring combination if you are specifically a melee character who wants lots of attack rating. But there are very few choices at level 10 over the Nokozan Relic. I always say Nozakin, but it's Nokozan. Now, the Nokozan Relic is 20% faster hit recovery. So right off the bat, we have a very, very awesome stat because early on, most characters don't have a decent amount of faster hit recovery, and having 20% early on is a huge boon and can be stacked with other nice pieces of equipment, like, for instance, the stealth armor. We also have adds 3 to 6 fire damage, which at level 10 is actually a pretty huge amount of fire damage. And you could probably go around punching things and killing them at level 10 with 3 to 6 fire damage. We have plus 10% maximum fire resistance. Now what this does is it actually increases our maximum fire resistance by 10%. So instead of 75% fire resistance, which I need to move myself out of the way so you can see this, instead of 75% fire resistance, I will have 85% fire resistance as my cap, which is pretty darn sweet. Now, not only does it increase your cap, but it also gives you a really large amount of extra fire resistance on top. So it throws in a 50% fire resistance bonus. So having this amulet at level 10 will not only create a character who is relatively unharmed by most fire attacks, it is also going to give you an increase to your maximum fire resistance, making you even harder to hurt. And one such monster that I can think of off the top of my head that has a massive amount of fire attacks is Diablo himself. So in normal difficulty, when you get to Diablo, this can definitely be an amulet that you could pull out of your bag of tricks, so to speak, to protect yourself from Diablo. You don't necessarily always have to utilize this amulet, but when you find yourself in situations where you are constantly under bombardment of fire attacks, the Nokozan Relic is actually quite a nice amulet. It also gives you plus 3 to light radius, which is, of course, something most people don't care about. Plus 3 light radius will, however, definitely increase the light radius of your character, and just for demonstration purposes, let's take a look. So if we have the Nokozan Relic, let me go into a darker zone. Here we go. Nokozan Relic, and with the Relic, and you'll notice that I think I already have too much a light radius bonus from random pieces of equipment here. Hold on. I know. Be less prepared. And now you can physically see the light radius decrease and increase, which is, yeah, okay. Now, who could utilize this amulet? Well, everybody. 20% faster hit recovery at level 10 is absolutely amazing for everybody. You will find that most characters at level 10 have a huge issue with faster hit recovery and will get stuck in faster hit recovery stun locks, which is very, very common. So whether you are a druid, a paladin, a necromancer, a barbarian, a sorceress, it doesn't matter. The 20% faster hit recovery is a huge boon for you. Now, granted, later on, you may find yourself putting on a different amulet, something with plus to skills, something with all resistances, and so forth and so on. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the Nokozan Relic has become useless, because it still maintains its relatively amazing fire resistance properties. Even if you were in a PvP match, and let's say, for instance, you came across a fire sorceress. Maybe a fire sorceress came in the game. Maybe she's running firewall. Maybe she's running running Fireball or something like that. Or maybe she's rocking Hydras. Who knows? Whatever it is that she's got going on, maybe you want to fight her, but you want to fight her with a little bit of protection. Well, having the Nokozan Relic on your character would definitely be a good start. You could also pair the Nokozan Relic up with a pair of boots, Hotspur boots, which also have the increases maximum fire resistance effect and fire resistance on them. And you can have a relatively high amount of fire resistance at a relatively low level. If you were, for instance, a low-level dueler who was going up against a fire type character, maybe a fire elemental druid, maybe a fire sorceress, maybe a fire Amazon, whatever it may be, this amulet could be your best friend. Now let's take a look and see where you can find Nokozan Relic. It's something that most people, I don't think, normally have an issue with. Nokozan Relic drops pretty well just about anywhere. But let's take a look and see what bosses have a good chance to drop it. So best probability, Andariel in Nightmare is actually the highest probability. And Duriel in normal difficulty is right behind Nightmare and Duriel. So there's a very good chance you could get this as a drop from normal Duriel, provided he doesn't troll you with Scrolls of Town Portal. Mephisto in normal difficulty has a relatively high % chance, as well as Diablo in normal difficulty. Quite a few really nice chances here, just going down the list. A lot of them are in normal difficulty. Even Radamant, apparently, in normal difficulty can drop this with a 1 in 1,133 chance. As for super uniques, we've got Radamant in normal, Summoner in normal. We've got Hephaesto in normal. Quite a large number of monsters. Bone Ash in normal difficulty. And the Cathedral has a 1 in 3,373 chance. And that is actually a very good chance for a monster that is really easy to get to. Bone Ash is always in the Cathedral, and he is always in the same place, and you can literally just make a game over and over again and farm Bone Ash for this particular amulet. And I'm sure he'll drop you some other things as well. But all in all, it looks like the Nokozan Relic is relatively easy to come by, and it's probably something that you can hold on to. It doesn't take up much stash space, so even if you decided that you no longer wanted to use it, it certainly is not going to be one of those items that is so ridiculously difficult to store that you couldn't just hang on to it in your stash for later. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and keep watching.